The most funny things working with 3D printing is that you start with an idea and then very quickly see the outcome of that idea. It's not always like this in the research. In a few minutes, you go from an idea to an end product that you can see, touch it, and feel it. That's very exciting. I'm an associate professor at the Division of Food and Nutrition Science. I'm leading a group focusing a lot on sustainable food processing and developing alternative sources of proteins and future foods. When I was a kid, I have been always passionate to be a scientist. I was reading a book that was listing all the examples of successful scientists. And that's where I got interested into science and research. I have been always driven on a passion for sustainability. And later, all the interest for plant-based protein came in, and I tried to use my competences to boost that area. And my interest to food technology brought me to the 3D food printing, extrusion, and other technological approach to engage into this area. Extrusion is used a lot currently in the industry for other purposes, like pasta and things like that. But in this context, we are using it for texturizing plant proteins. As you see here, the protein is added. The water is added from here. The temperature goes up. The pressure also goes up. We end up to here, where we cool it down again. And finally, we get this product that looks like a piece of meat out. You get a bite that is close to meat, and it has a very nutty flavor now. In the real world, food is much more complicated, and we have multiple components making our food product. For example, if you look at the meat, the most typical components that you see in a food is the protein phase and the fat phase. That's what we have brought us into this printing machine that we have here. When we 3D print a food, we use a robotic arm that transforms a digital model layer by layer into a product that we see it visually in 3 dimensions. What is unique in our printer is that it's a custom-made machine. All the movement comes from the bottom. It gives us a lot of flexibility. That we can take this off, replace it with another machine, or we can replace it with our extruder. That's the vision that we have. We can print at least 2 materials at the same time. We are using alternative sources instead of animals. It could be plant-based protein, plant-based fat. And then the machine allows us to combine it in a very complicated way. We embrace the flexibility that this digital tool brings to develop foods that are closer to the actual animal-based product, but even more complicated to make it customized and personalized even. We look at it more as a prototyping opportunity that you can develop, customize, evaluate in a very quick way that you cannot do with other technologies that are existing. And then you can change this texture profile in a fraction of a second. You can have different nutrient profile, and that's what we target a lot for Army, for example. You have soldiers in different days, they have different, for example, calorie demand, and they are less active or more active. Then they can print their own food based on their demand, for example. Or an athlete who needs, in one day they are very active, they need high calorie food or low calorie food. Or you prefer your steak to be high fat or low fat, then you can tune it and customize it as you wish. One challenge is related to food materials. They are not like a normal material like metals or plastic. They are much more complicated in terms of physical properties. Then we have to optimize them, tune them to be printable. Of course, from a consumer perspective, it would be those who are prepared and are willing to adapt to more sustainable diets, but they find it challenging. It's often a category called flexitarian, that this product will facilitate the shift for them to sustainable diet. When it comes to alternative food sources, we hope in 5 years, 10 years, that they will not be alternative. They will be our real food. And also on top of that, it has taken thousands of years that we have these domestic food sources that we have right now. And we will soon succeed to domesticize the rest of the sources. It all needs some time. It's the contribution to the sustainability and the future of our societies, and be impactful. That's very important for me.